Welcome, it's been a long while, hasn't it? Well, today I wanted to do something different. I've been playing this game called Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's a pretty no-name game. It's an indie game. I mean, it barely has any fans or people that like it, and there surely isn't fan art of it. Now, I've played the Blue Lion's path on this one like twice already. Once normally, and the second time which getting almost all the characters. I mean all the characters. I didn't think I missed anybody this time around. I even got Cyril. And like Cynthia, God, like Cynthia was hard. So we'll be going New Game Plus. We already know this. And we'll choose normal, we'll choose casual. Why not? I mean, I don't really like units dying. I don't want my kids to die either, so do that. And now it's time for the intro.
Do you recall the Red Canyon? You'll die in it! Die! You took everything that I loved! He's gone now, Mother.
Well, wasn't that nice? I really like the intro for this. And well, oh yeah, this part.
What could have brought you here?
Okay, so if you've played Fire Emblem before, especially Three Houses, it's a pretty regular run-of-the-mill thing. With Sodis being like, oh, what's this? And whatever. And for this one, I'll try to do something differently. I usually play the male Byleth. That's how I'm gonna call him. I don't care what's the proper way of pronouncing his name or whatever. It's Byleth, like in the Russian word. But I think I will go with the female Byleth this time around. And that is because, well, you get access to Felix. You can recruit Felix, which is... To describe it for people that don't know, Felix is a character that is a skirt chaser, to put it in the terms that the game uses. Not really the best unit, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really enjoy him that much. So she asks us what we are, but the answer doesn't really matter. You just annoy her with the ghost and demon part. So we'll go with mortal to skip a little.
Then you must have a name of sorts.
And it's gonna be Byleth, as I said. Yes.
Huh. I shall not ever grow accustomed to the sound of human. You must possess a day of birth as well. Beneath which...
Now, the birthday doesn't really matter from what I saw. I mean, it matters in the way that you receive a gift at the start of the month, but honestly, I don't really care that much. Sure, it's gonna be this.
Well, wonders never cease. It seems we share our day of... It all feels so... familiar. It is almost time to...
And that's how you interact with sodas. Ooh, Gerald? Whatever. I'll never go accustomed to pronouncing that.
You've described her to me before. I don't think I've ever met anyone like that. In any case, just put that out of your mind for now. Risking your life is part of the job for mercenaries.
Of course.
Okay, time to get moving. I told you before, it's far from here, so we'll need to... Good.
Like that little thing that made him go up in friendship or love, that's gonna be irrelevant.
Sir, sorry to barge in, but
What's happened?
please.
Now here they are, the Golden Standard and the other two characters, the mildly annoying Claude and the one I want to murder.
What do a bunch of kids like you want at this hour?
We're being pursued by a group of bandits. I can only hope that you will be so kind as...
Bandits? Here?
It's true. They attacked us while we were...
We've been separated from our companions and we're outnumbered. They're after our lives, not to mention our gold.
Now excuse me if I skip faster with this, but I've played it before, so there's nothing new here. And I guess if you came here to see it and you found this somehow, you probably have a good knowledge of it, or at least some parts of it. So
Yes, they followed you all the way here. Come on, let's move.
good. A little more action, please. White Cloud. Usually the chapter, the game is split into two chapters, White Cloud and something else. Something else depends on the house you want to represent and teach. Represent, that's kind of a lot, but not maybe represent? I mean, you're not really representing it, the professor anyway.
Let's take care of those thieves before they overrun the village. Take down the enemies in front first. That should take the wind out of their sails.
And here we go, even though it's a new game plus, it still tells us the same thing about it still has that tutorial part. Now since for this route I'll be doing Claude. Wait, no. Yeah, I'm playing this on a smaller screen right now, so it's gonna be a little bit hard. Since I'm playing Claude's route, there's no point in Dimitri or Edelgard holding weapons. Let's talk a little.
Are in your debt. It wouldn't do for us to fall in it. Please, lend us your strength. Let's work together to drive out these.
And we wait. Now let's take Edelgard stuff. And talk.
You have a strange aura about you. You say you're a mercenary, so show me what you can.
And that's gonna be it. We're not gonna use Edelgard or Dimitri for this one. I find it totally no, thank you. Useless to use the two characters that you're not gonna teach. Better just to feed the experience and kills and everything to your main character, your avatar character, as it's supposed to be, I think, and your house leader. No, we're not gonna talk. Can I don't remember. Can I talk and attack at the same time?
You guys that I'm not dead right now. Thanks for that. I didn't expect to run into mercenaries like you in some remote village. The gods of fortune.
Yep, I can. And the iron sword will kill him. I have to remember at some point to deactivate the healing animations if I know how, and that's about it for the first turn.
We'll advance.
Yeah, okay. Normally enemies won't really move outside their range. I think I'm gonna go with swords. Yeah, I'll stick with swords for my avatar because why not? Swords seem to be a better option in my point of view, especially going for classes like Swordmaster or something like that. Also provides a little bit more entertainment for me, at least, to use swords. I always like swords more. Why? Out of range. That's gonna be hard. So this, no, still out of range. I really have a hard time with the picking situation of the range units. That should be good enough, I guess.
Yes, good. If we're in the forest, we can sustain your attack.
Yeah, okay, I know. Usually forests are better terrain to fight on than normal plains. If your enemy's in the forest, you want to get into the forest, or if you can, just try at least. Forests are a great option to defend mostly. And in this run, I think I'll be doing like, I'm not really sure if I want to waste time on getting all the characters and doing the paralogs. I think that's something I'll do mostly for Blue Lion. Yeah, I think I'll wait and do that for the Blue Lion part, rather than do it now with Golden Deer. I want to use every unit I have available in Golden Deer, because I think it makes way more sense that as a professor you don't recruit the other characters. It's like playing with the hand you're being dealt with. Not the best, not the worst. Also, this fight is annoyingly taking longer than expected. I think I can kill him from here. Yeah, I can. 94, that's good enough. Yeah. Sometimes lower hit marks won't always hit. So that's what I'm really worried about most of the time, not really hitting the enemy. Like, as you can see here, it's like 17, but 17, yeah, it's a miss. And it brings closer to, yeah, you know, it doesn't matter. This is the tutorial basically in the beginning, so it's not really that important. And Claude can take a hit or two. Now, you see the ally phase, but Geralt won't really move. He'll just give instruction for most of the time, which I find it quite a waste, because he could be the closest thing you get to Jagen in this game, but you're not gonna get a Jagen. For those that don't understand what a Jagen is the archetype of a character that is a promoted unit, which means it's reaches max promotion level. That's wrong. Basically, a Jagan unit is a crutch. I'm gonna be honest, it's a crutch at the start of the game that loses its utility slowly during the rest of the game. But there are Jagans out there that are as useful from the beginning to the end of the game. Some Jagans like that include characters like Seth, which is one of my favorite from Fire Emblem 8, or also known as the Sacred Stone. Now, Geralt here starts walking because apparently the game considers the enemies to be way too difficult for the house leaders in Byleth right here. But if we step back, can't step there. And we can stand here. I think should be good. Now, you can finish this mission by trying to suicide bomb the bandit leader, the one with the portrait right there. Oh, come on, don't try and steal my kill. That's the biggest problem I have with Geralt, because he always finds a way to get close, like scare me that he's gonna steal my kill. So it really just makes me be like, time to just rush the boss, I guess. Which is also a strategy that works, and you really shouldn't shy from using it. And that's it for this map. Quite honestly, I think I lost more time with the in-game stuff. Yeah, you're not setting a good example, but strength and res, they're pretty good, especially res. Though I'm not sure what's the ratio of mage units in this route. And to the convoy, yeah? A vulnerary should do.
Honestly, what are you accomplishing with that little stunt? It's like you're trying to get me killed, you fool. Well, it's fine. After all, if you don't know the value of your own life, you're not going to protect it very well, are you? Course not. Well then, I guess it's up to me to guide you from now on, right? You can call me Sothis, but I'm also known as the Beginning.
And right here we're learning about a new mechanic introduced for the Three Houses game, Divine Pulse, which I'm barely use.
Sothis, yes, that, and I am also called the Beginning. I was not able to recall my name until just now, and just like that it came to me. How odd, that look upon your face. Did you think me a child? A mere child who forgot her own name? Phooey! That child just saved your life. And what does that...
Yeah, I'll try to please her a little because there's something interesting that I've never done. And, well, I really want to see how it ends.
Correct. You understand. You threw yourself before an axe to save just one young girl. Yet all is well, as I have stalled the flow of time for now. You would have done... There now. Is gratitude so much to ask? I did deem you worth saving after all. Though it is only momentary, time has stopped. When time begins again, the axe will tear into your flesh and you will surely meet your end. How rude of you to drag me into this. Now what to do?
Turn back the hands of time, honestly. Why wouldn't you do that?
Of course. I must turn back the hands of time. Yes, I do believe it can be done. You really are quite troublesome. I cannot wind back time too far, but all is well. You are aware of what's to come. Now go. Yes, you who bears the flames within. Drift through the...
Hey, over here! Huh?
This isn't really a time for a reunion. Remember, there's still bandits on the other side.
Hey, did you just...
The Knights of Seros are here. We'll cut you down.
Oh, Alois.
The thieves are running away. Go after them. The students seem to be unharmed. And who's this?
Why him?
Now, this character Alois and Geralt have an interesting dialogue when they speak to each other. It's quite funny from my point of view. Now, the current thing will be there because you get some items if you play it online, but that's really about it. And we can see the most... whatever. I can't read that far.
Captain Gerald? It is you. Don't you recognize me? It's Alois, your old right-hand man. Well, that's how... Oh, it must have been 20 years ago that you went missing without a trace. I always knew...
You haven't changed a bit, Alois. Just as loud as ever. And drop that captain nonsense. These days, I'm just a wandering mercenary. One who has work to do.
Right. Goodbye, Captain. Wait, that isn't how this ends. I insist that you
Garreg Mach Monastery.
And how about you, kid? Are you the captain's child?
I think that's correct. It's still pretty weird when you go down a rabbit hole.
Is that so? Well, physical differences aside, your mannerisms do remind me of the captain. I'd love for you to see the monastery too. You will join me, won't you?
I guess I have no choice.
What's troubling you, Captain? You aren't about to run off again, are you?
Even I wouldn't dare run from the Knights of Seros.
The Knights of Seros? They do...
And they pretty much are. Well...
It seems your presence is required. Get going.
and to a point, that is.
I appreciate your help back there.
Oh great, this is what I wanted.
You're clearly an experienced mercenary. And your father, that would be Gerald, former captain of the Knights of Seros, oft praised as the strongest knight to ever... You haven't heard of the Knights of Seros? The most famous order of knights in all of...
Hey, you are coming with us to the monastery, right? Of course you are. I'd love to bend your ear as we travel. Oh, I should mention that the three of us are students of the Officers Academy at Garreg Mach Monastery. We were doing some training exercises when those bandits attacked. I definitely got the worst.
I really am curious what training they were doing that they got caught up by bandits. But the story is much more intricate than just that.
That would be because you ran off.
Too true. I was the first to make a strategic retreat. Everything would have worked out if these two hadn't followed me and ruined everything. Because of them, every single one of those bandits chased after us. Utterly ridiculous.
Ah, so that's what you were thinking, Claude. And here I thought you were acting as a decoy for the sake of us all.
His intentions were as clear as day. You will prove a lacking ruler if you cannot see the truth behind a person's words.
You will prove a lacking ruler yourself if you look for deceit behind every word and fail to trust those who rely.
Oh, joy. A royal debate between their highnesses. I wonder how being completely predictable affects one's ability to wield. Personally, as the embodiment of distrust, I'd say your little exchange smacks of
Me, naive. Tell me, are you actually incapable of keeping quiet, or is your lack...
In any case, forgive our digression. I must speak with you if you can spare. The way you held your ground against the bandits' leader was captivating. You never lost control of the situation. It showed me I still have much...
Your skill is precisely why I must ask you to consider lending your services to the Empire. I might as well tell you now. I am no mere student. I am also the Adrestian
Halt, Edelgard. Please allow me to finish my own proposition. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is in dire need of exceptional individuals like yourself. Please, do consider returning to the
Whoa there, you two sure are hasty. Trying to recruit someone you just met. I was personally planning to develop a deep and lasting friendship on our journey back to the monastery before... But it seems there's no time for niceties in this world. So, capable stranger, let's get right to it. Where does your allegiance...
It seems one's place of birth is quite significant to them. Yet they are so impressed by you that you made...
Now this option doesn't really matter that much. I guess it changes some dialogue at some point, but even that I think is just not a thing, so I'll go with this one.
Is that right? Well, that's a win for the Alliance, so I suppose I'm obligated.
All right, that's enough with the small talk. It's time to head back to the monastery.
Looks like we'll have to pick this up another time.
My, they are in such a hurry.
Now I like the description for the characters here. And she does it with a reason, like in her own path. What a darkness that is on the blue lion part. Oh, Dimitri. Yeah, I don't see why it considers that a problem.
I thought the same. I am so sleepy. I may be sleeping.
Like, I honestly basically have the same thing where I don't really smile with my eyes. My eyes don't really do anything when I smile. They just stand there in the same position. But I guess that's supposed to mean it's not a big smile.
Part 1. White Clouds. Great Tree Moon. 3 houses. The icy winds of the Agma Mountains have begun to scatter, and the verdant fields once again spring to life across Fódlan, heralding the start of a new year. As they celebrate the dawning year, the people pray that they may realize their full potential, just as a tiny sprout hopes to one day grow into a great tree. The continent of Fódlan, said to be protected by a revered goddess, has existed since time immemorial. 3 ruling powers now control the land. In the south lies a region long held by a more than 1,000-year-old dynasty, the Adrestian Empire. Beyond its borders, to the frigid north, is the home of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, ruled by the royal family and its knights. To the east, a league of nobles that heeds no king nor emperor rules what is called the Leicester Alliance. Once consumed by a tempest of war and turmoil, Fódlan and these 3 mighty powers now exist in relative harmony.
This will be your first time at the monastery. I'd be happy to show you around.
It really is Fódlan in a nutshell. The good and the bad.
Like it or not, we'll be there soon enough. it is. Garreg Mach Monastery.
Rhea's here.
I wonder, did the flow of time bring you here?
It's been years since I've last set eyes on this place. To be forced to see her now,
Okay, so we're back in. I just dozed off for a minute right there.
You saw her in the courtyard earlier, didn't you? The Archbishop, Lady Rhea. As you know, the majority of folks in Fódlan are devout followers. The leader of that ridiculously large religious organization is the Archbishop.
Thank you for your patience, Gerald. My name is sixteenth. I am an advisor to the Archbishop.
Right. Hello.
It has been a long time, Gerald. I wonder, was it the will of the goddess that we have another chance?
Forgive my silence all these years. Much has happened since we last spoke.
So I see. The miracle of fatherhood has blessed you.
Yes. Born many years after I left this place, I wish I could introduce you to the mother of my child, but I'm afraid we lost her to illness.
I see. My condolences. As for you, I heard of your valiant efforts from
Sure, why not?
A fine name indeed. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for saving those students. Gerald, you already know what it is I wish to say.
You want me to rejoin the Knights of Seiros, don't you? I won't say no.
Your apprehension stings. I had expected that Alois would have already asked this of you. I must step away for now, but I expect they will desire a word with. Please listen carefully to what they have to say. Until...
And here we are.
Leave it. Forced back into the night. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Looks like I'll be stuck here for a while. And I'm afraid your services are... Nothing like that. They want you to teach, by the sound of it. You heard those brats earlier talking about the Officers' Academy, right? Well, the Academy just happens to be short a professor. And apparently that damned Alois went and recommended you to Lady Rhea.
So, you must be the new professor. My, how stern and handsome you are.
No. I'm not the one. You can handle things from here. Good luck. And watch out for Lady Rhea. I don't know what she's thinking making you a professor like this. She may be up to something.
Oh, it's you then? So young.
Competence and age are not necessarily correlated. As I am Hanneman, a crest scholar and professor at the... I wonder if you bear a crest of your own. When next you have a moment to spare, I insist that you...
I'm Manuela. I'm a professor, a physician, a songstress.
Yeah, she always says the available part doesn't really matter to gender. And I think she is, Manuela is one of those units you can have the romantic relationship with, regardless of gender, but I have to check that one out again. Let's go with physician.
I look too pretty for that line of work, do I? But yes, if you're ever lonely, please do come and pay me a visit. I would love...
Spare our colleague the needless chatter. Now then, it seems you'll be taking charge of one of the... I expect you haven't yet been briefed on the nature of each.
Do you really not know? Fine. The Officers' Academy is comprised of 3 houses of students, each of which is closely affiliated. The Black Eagle House is for students from the address. Their house leader this year is Edelgard, the Imperial Princess, who is in line.
The Blue Lion House is for students from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Their house leader this year is Prince Dimitri. He is to be the next...
Lastly, there is the Golden Deer House, which is for students of the Leicester Alliance. Their house leader is Claude, grandson to Duke Regan, the leader of the...
To think that the next Emperor, King, and Sovereign Duke are all here. It's...
I'll say... I just hope none of those little treasures cause any trouble.
Quite. For now, I suggest taking a stroll around the Academy to get your bearings. And when you've a moment,
The old man has a point. Oh, and keep in mind that I've only notified the house leaders that I suggest you try spending time with the students. Some odd ducks in that bunch. I'm sure Lady Rhea will have more information for you tomorrow, but that should get you good.
And we skip from day to day with a black screen.
A child, no less, as a professor at our esteemed academy is...
I have made my decision, Seteth. I know worrying comes naturally to you, but there is truly no need. That stranger is Gerald's flesh and blood, after all.
I can't say that's all too comforting. How trustworthy is this Gerald character? Is he not the man who went missing after the Great Fire 21 years? I would remind you that Flayn is now here with us as well. I beg of you, please consider whether this is an unnecessary risk.
Seteth, they have my trust. Let that be enough for you as well. More importantly, I have received a report from Shamir. I am increasingly concerned about a matter regarding our suspicious individual. We cannot ignore those who harbor ill will toward the Church, especially if they are frequenting Garreg Mach.
Yes, that matter is of great importance as well. I shall continue my investigation. Rhea, for now I will have faith that you are placing your trust with the utmost care. I pray that...
Wow, it's taken so long only for... what? 38 minutes of this. God. The story is one huge chunk of this one, I'm telling you. I like making the little man just... which is basically the presentation of a character, just slide a little. Oh, more cinematics, yay. Okay, now let's do the exploration part. And I think I'll end stuff here because it's already taking way too long. We'll pick the house and do some of the side activities. I'm not gonna do all the side activities on camera. I'm gonna do them off screen. I think it's better that way. At least more room for the actual gameplay rather than the sim part, which I don't really enjoy that much. So thanks for watching.